So what a story about young people around the world, what they have been doing in this coronavirus.
So what they've been doing right now is that young people learn to protect themselves, and that really suggests that young people are more aware of what is going on. So we can say that the pandemic has had an impact towards young people in the way they perceive the situation. So there is a recent study in the UK saying that around 50% of the people in the UK aged around 18 to 35 practice voluntary social distancing even before it became compulsory in the UK, whereas people aged 70 and above don't really practice that yet.
So it's another side of the story, because in Thailand, we've been told that young people tend to be people who spread the risk of infection. But in the UK, it turned out that they voluntarily to protect themselves and others.
Yes, because previously many people think that it's only the older people that have to be more cautious about the virus. But now that sort of perspective kind of changed, because young people can still be at risk of spreading the disease no matter if they're showing symptoms or not. So young people in the UK are more aware of this issue. So they are now protecting themselves by following social distancing measures, even before it became compulsory.
So that's quite a good story. And what are morals that UK society perhaps would like to encourage them to do more?
Whether to do more or not, I think it's not just only the social distancing, but I think more of the experts actually said that young people should be more aware that even though they do not have the symptoms, they're not feeling the symptoms, whether it's coughing or feeling ill, they still have the risk of spreading the virus. Because what the experts have been saying is that not only the young people or the children or even older people are at risk of spreading the virus, but what is more concerning is that people who do not show the symptoms or not feeling the symptoms are more at risk of spreading the virus amongst others. Because once we do not realize that we have the virus, we might just go out and bump into other people, and we might happen to spread the virus without even knowing that you have the virus yourself.
So that's the concern of people who do not show symptoms. So what's the advice for people who don't show any symptom?
I would say the main advice here is, I think the problem here right now is like the testing, because the testing is more on the people who have the symptoms, not really people who do not have the symptoms. So I think the advice there is they need to put in mass testing, whether which country you're in, because mass testing will actually help us figure out what is going on here. So I think it will also give them more of a better picture of what is going on, whether it's not just the people who have the symptoms that will get COVID-19, but people who do not show symptoms can be at risk of having COVID-19 as well.
So Kun Thepchai, everyone has the role to play in the fight against coronavirus pandemic. Young or older people, or even very baby generation, we all have to be careful, and we all have to play the role in this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe that the level of awareness among people in any societies, whether they are young or old, depends a lot on how the governments, the authorities communicate with them to help them understand the severity of the situation at hand. In Thailand, I think the medical authorities have been quite effective in communicating with the people on this issue. So that's why in Thailand you see a lot of people wearing masks, right? Go out, you hardly see people without masks. So that in a way, I think that it tells a lot about the effectiveness of the communication that medical authorities have had with the public.
Unlike Western countries that people are still a bit reluctant in wearing masks. But besides this issue, the experts have been suspecting that there's going to be a large group of young people or even children that have a high risk of spreading the virus. But however, there hasn't really been a clear picture on this one because the experts have not seen the actual numbers of children or young people getting tested, especially with those who do not show symptoms. And they're also saying that we don't really know yet whether it's the children, the younger people, or the older people who are passing on the virus the most. So this question is still under debate there. So we cannot judge that, oh, it's only the older people who are spreading the virus, or it could be the children spreading the virus, because everyone is at risk here during this pandemic.
You're right.
We have been told that second wave of coronavirus might be coming, so we had better take good care of everyone around us as well.